behind the dark horseman, and the horse was galloping like a storm of wind. The horseman said nothing. He rode until the horse was sweating and foaming. He rode across wild heathland, where Jemmy had never been before, and on into an oak forest, and up to a castle set in a green glade. As they cantered over the drawbridge, Jemmy saw that dozens of servants were standing on the steps around the massive door, waiting to welcome them. They all wore the same livery, green and gold, and all of them were even smaller than the two dwarfs at Slain Fair. "Well," they cried, "if it's not Jemmy Nolan! Welcome, Jemmy Nolan!" Scrambling around him and standing on each other's shoulders like a troop of acrobats, they helped Jemmy dismount. They dusted him down, they put a drink in his fist, they asked what they could do for him. "Very civil," said Jemmy, and he took off his jaunting hat and ran a hand through his thick black hair. "Very civil." Then Jemmy saw a man waiting on the steps. He stood at least as high as Jemmy's hip, and he was wearing a sumptuous outfit of purple and gold. "So, Jemmy Nolan," Jemmy thought, "the Lord himself has come out to greet you." "Take Jemmy to his room," said the Lord. "Let him dress." Several servants escorted Jemmy to his room high in the castle, where his new clothes were waiting for him. A fine suit of brown velvet and a cap and feather. Jemmy looked at them in admiration and delight. Far from leaving him to look after himself, the green and gold servants would not allow Jemmy to lift a finger. They took off his jacket and his shirt and his trousers, untied his shoes, and washed him after his journey. "Blessings!" exclaimed Jemmy. "There's nothing wrong with this." When the little servants had dressed Jemmy in his resplendent new outfit, they hurried him down a flight of circular stone steps, trotted beside him along dim passageways, and led him into the castle hall. This hall was hung with Chinese lanterns and garlands of flowers. Down at the far end, a group of musicians was playing fiddles, and the little people were dancing. "There's a sight," said Jemmy. "I've never seen anything so lovely." Most lovely of all were the ladies, with their flashing smiles and their throats and fingers all covered in jewels. Jemmy couldn't take his eyes off them. "Will you dance with me, Jemmy Nolan?" asked one lady. "No, Jemmy," said another. "You must dance with me." And like 100 winter sparrows and a hunk of bread, all the ladies in the hall pecked and squabbled over which of them should dance with Jemmy Nolan in his brown velvet suit. "Blessings!" cried Jemmy. "I'll dance with you all." And that is what he did. He danced with every single lady in the room, until he was so tired that the only thing he wanted to do was to lie down there and then and go to sleep. "You can take Jemmy Nolan to his room," said the Lord, "and put him to bed. But first he must tell me a story." "Ah," said Jemmy, "I don't know a story. Or I can't remember one. I was never any good at books." "Shame on you, Jemmy," said the Lord. "I'm very tired now, your lordship," said Jemmy. "Let me lie down and go to sleep." "Sleep?" said the Lord. "Oh, not if I can help it." He signalled to a little red-headed man. "Throw Jemmy out," he shouted. "He can't tell a story. I won't have anyone in this castle who can't tell me a story. Throw him out. He's not worth his supper." So the red-headed man pushed Jemmy through the great castle door and down the steps and over the drawbridge to the edge of the oak forest. Jemmy found a bed.